Who y'all talking to, man?
Y'all niggas ain't gonna believe what the fuck happened to me.
We're going off of emotion. It feels like you're doing something to me. He's trying to control me.
Who is appropriate to talk to when you're struggling? We talk too much. We don't know who to listen to.
I got to talk. I gotta tell what I feel. I gotta talk about my life as I see it.
All my niggas on the cell, bring some weed, I got a story to tell.
Saying I love you to someone is different than living I love you with that someone. And many times we make the mistake of hearing and receiving the words and excusing the behavior, because many times we want the relationship or the marriage to work so badly that we receive what we hear and ignore what we experience. If you say I love you, or if you tell me you love me, then your actions should produce fruit. If you say you love me, then you should show up for me. If you say you love me, then there should be empathy and reciprocity. Learning the difference between saying I love you and living I love you can help your heart to heal. Your heart can't live on words of affirmation alone. It needs substance to support it. It needs people to show up to support it. It needs love, real actions to show it. And you deserve that. If you love me, live like you love me.
Yeah, all right. Brother said a lot. How you guys doing out there? Welcome back to another episode of a Story to Tell podcast. My name is Danny. I'm joined here by my co-hosts, Skeet and Loose J over here. Today we are joined by our guest for today, Miss Madi. How are you doing? Welcome.
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
All right, now, do you guys, lady, feel like you are being loved, or are you loving someone?
Well, I think I do both.
Okay. Let's
I think I do both. As a female, we're natural born nurturers, so we know how to take care of your man, love him. It's long your children as well. People outside that you meet, sometimes you could have a basic, a spiritual connection with somebody. You meet them, you're like, oh, you know what, you're mad cool. That's mad love. It depends on how you're using that word as well. Because love could be like, you're cool with me, I got nothing but love for you, You don't wish no harm on that person. Right. But if you're talking about love as far as in being in a relationship or a marriage or a foundation, that's different. That kind of love has to be the both of you have to be showing up all the time for each other. Yeah.
Now, can you give me an example of, love that you heard versus love that you felt?
Love that you heard, it doesn't have no actions behind it.
Okay.
When they're in front of you, oh, I love you, I'm going to do everything for you. Mm-hmm. But when they're not in front of you, they're a different kind of person. Mm-hmm. That's just being said. That's what you're telling me right now. Now, love that you feel is you don't have no doubt about this person. Mm-hmm. It's solid. It's solidified. You know what? I don't have to think twice if I call this person, this is what they're doing, or, this is what they're saying. Yeah. If ever question behind my back, I know that person's going to represent for me. Mm-hmm. The same way I'm going to show up for them.
Now, I'll say I felt a little bit of love last night as I was getting ready to head to bed, to come back here for today. She was asking me, oh, what are you going to wear and everything. And I was like, I'm not even sure yet. I'll deal with it when I get up in the morning. And then she went to the closet and she started picking out all of these different things. Right. And I was just like, I was like, look at this.
She loves me.
This. I was like, man, I went to sleep feeling kind of good.
But that's her nurturing side, too. She's going to take care of you. She's going to make sure that you're good. You said you didn't know, so she stepped in.
Yeah. It made me feel good. I slept all right.
So you putting that outfit on her. That's okay.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I'm just asking.
Brother felt good. So thanks. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. Okay. Do that some more. Yeah.
But like you said with the video, I think that love is different levels, but I think especially in a relationship, it's easy because we've all been there where you might have been in a relationship with somebody and you love them, but I think the thing that takes it over the plateau is especially if you're married or something like that, it's when you're in love with that person. Mm-hmm. I think that's the difference. That's when you in love, you go to deeper boundaries. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because everybody used that word so quickly, unconditional. Oh yeah, but that's not really true in so many facts. Because unconditional means no matter what, I got you.
Yeah.
And that's when I say, where if you in love with that person, then you can reach that.
That
You know what I mean?
unconditional part.
That unconditional part.
Right.
If I just love you, hey man, I love you. Hey, come on, we about to go run in this bank. I holler at you. I love you.
Just
but
don't
I
get
can't,
caught.
Yeah, I can't be there for you. You know what I mean? Not to
Correct.
that extreme, but just, you know what I mean?
That's part of that game,
It's
though. Like,
different,
you know,
Game. A lot of game and a love. You understand?
Yeah.
Now, do you feel like anything was said in the clip will make you reassess your love, how you love, or how you receive love?
love is something that's very important to me, right? Hearing it, showing it, right? Because some people don't get love or have the vibration of love, right?
Some
so when
people
they,
I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say some people really haven't really experienced
Experience love.
They think they have,
Yeah.
but they hold on to certain things that they think is love.
It's like racism, right? It's not that a person just don't love you, right? They don't know you. They were raised a certain way, right? So now when they get the experience, like I've been in the experience where I've watched, some real down country, never been nowhere else, and all they know of is brown skins is being the N-word. You know what I'm saying? But when they got to experience me and the way that I showed love in the neighborhood to the kids who didn't know because they never seen nothing like me before, they all had a different outtake on what kind of N-word I was.
Right.
But that's how they was raised, so
Right. It's taught
it
behavior.
was taught behavior,
Right.
so and even at home, I got boys. I kiss my boys on their head. I kiss them when they go to bed, because these are the things that they need to know. This is where you come from, right? Like a big trauma for me was I didn't feel loved at times, even though my mama loved me, even though my dad loved me, right? But because of what they were probably going through at times in life, some of them might have been shame, you know what I'm saying? So they didn't want to be there, or they didn't know how to be there, right?
They didn't know how to express it.
But it wasn't that they didn't love me, because they knew that I had family members that say, you know what, if he goes with them, this is a better experience for him other than living here in this fucked up experience. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta, it's give and take and everything. You feel me? So I feel like the love, even with our neighborhoods, right? The reason why dudes join gangs is because there's love in that gang for them, right? Even though it's stupid, even though it might not work out to be, something great,
Right.
it might end up in jail, like you just said. Like, yo, we going to the bank. I'm going with him because this is my boy. I know I got his back. He got my back. We gonna ride. And then now when the consequences come down, we gonna see who's real. You know what I'm saying? Now if one mother gonna snitch on you, or
what you thought is love.
What you thought was love.
you thought was love, exactly. So that love thing, I feel like, yeah, it needs to be said, right? Even if you can't show that at the moment, it needs to be said, right? So it can just, because sometimes, your parent ever told you something, or somebody ever told you something, and you're like, oh, this motherfucker talking. But then now you in a situation, you like, and you hear that voice again, like, such and such and such. Oh, hold up.
I think that love needs to be said, and I think that it also needs to have an action that comes behind it.
Yes.
I think you just saying empty "I love you" to someone can be detrimental, not just to the person that you're saying it to, but you also to yourself. Because you know what? Now that person is going to hold you accountable to that, right? And then when you can't show up, you can't say that, you know what? I didn't mean to say that. So I think that when you say it,
But what show up though?
and what's needed for that person. Showing up for someone is not just specifically for what I want or what my counterpart will want. Showing up would be like, listen, when you say you love me and you see that I'm over here, I'm struggling, I'm doing dishes, clothes, the wash machine just stopped. Simple act. Yo, you know what? Let me go take this laundry out for her. Because I see she's over here. She ain't an octopus, you know what I'm saying? She ain't got 8 hands. Let me help her out. That's an act of love. You understand?
True.
Because you know what? You're not seeing me getting stressed out by myself. You're just jumping in and you're not waiting for me to ask you to do it. You're doing it. So that's your action right there. That's showing up sometimes for a female, or in anyone.
Excuse me. Is there like physical, are there limitations to what you can physically show? Like, okay, no. What if there are limitations to you showing your love, or
I I don't know what that looks like.
Okay. So maybe
I mean, if it's limitations, a lot of people get
Then
it
that's not
confused.
love.
It's not love. Like,
Right.
it might be something else. It's not always, people
Well, you
throw
can
that
have love
word.
for somebody, but then you know how that person is.
Yeah, but people throw that word around too. Love. You know what I
That's
mean? Love.
understood.
Like you
It could be
said,
infatuation.
I
it
got
could be a
friends
bunch
who-
of different things.
Right.
like you said, you got friends who you got love for, but you don't agree what they doing.
okay. So okay, let me kind of rephrase it, right? So with limitations, I mean like so. Let's say I go to work, right? I come home, it's dishes in the sink. Dishes need to be washed. But I just came home from work. I'm dog dead tired. I'm beat. Yeah, I want to wash those dishes, but I'm tired, more than you are, right?
How would you know?
If you've been sitting in the house all day, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that don't work.
But that's what the situation is. That's what this particular situation is.
Okay.
But my question,
Then
that's
sitting
a
in the
lazy
house all
person.
day is a job
With
too.
the kids,
But
yeah,
sitting in the
sure.
house
Okay,
all
so
day
then
is a
no.
job too, though.
Sure, but
But take
so
care of
if I
kids
come
is
home
tired.
and I'm tired and I don't wash the dishes, does that mean that I don't love you?
Nah.
No, that doesn't negate your love for that person.
Right. So that's what I meant by
That's where,
limited.
But was
that's where
they-
communication
I
comes
was just about
in
to
at.
say, did they
Yeah.
ask
Yeah.
that of you? Did they
Yeah.
ask you
That's
like,
what
hey, can you do me
communication-
a favor?
No,
Yeah,
it
that's
wasn't
that's
asked.
when you go to her when you came in. Hey, babe, I'm tired. I get the dishes in the morning, or I get them when I get up. And
Well,
that's it.
really, it sounds like the
Communication.
dishes is bothering you that you came
Yeah.
home.
Right.
and did the
And
dishes.
they
came
were
home and
there.
they there.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So if it's bothering you,
if
then
it-
you should
yeah.
take care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's usually what it is. Because I come in and it's just like,
That goes to, like we said before, communication. A lot of
Right.
times you come in, like I said, when we were speaking before about sometimes you got to detox before you come in the house, because you coming in the house
Sit in the
with all
car.
that world energy that you done fought everybody in the world,
Yeah.
and now you coming in there, and the first thing gonna trigger you. I see the dishes. Well, why she ain't washing? You know what I mean? So you gotta focus and get that out. And then when you come in, the dishes ain't that serious. You know what I mean?
You gotta remember, I
was just
say
giving
all
an
house
example.
chores,
Yeah.
all house chores
Belongs
is
to
our
everyone.
chores.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not
Yeah.
one person's chore.
Yes.
I don't care
Us.
if they person home all day. I don't care if they slept all day.
No.
It's not one person's chore because you know what? That one person didn't mess it all up by themselves.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
We all did.
It's
Right?
a house.
Exactly.
It's a house. A house.
So that means that everybody is
Everybody.
included in that.
yeah.
Now,
I totally agree.
like you said, 100%. Sometimes you come home and it's certain things that trigger you, right?
Right.
It's certain things that trigger you.
Right.
So it's a conversation now. It got to be
Now,
a
yeah,
conversation.
yeah.
And if you have love for each other, you'll have that conversation.
Yeah.
Right. If you don't have love for each other, and
It's gonna be an argument.
It's an argument. It's you already over.
Yeah. You had it over the limit.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
You know,
Like you said,
gotta
that's
pick
a
and
job.
choose.
You
It's a
know,
job?
with the kids,
Yo,
you,
yo, listen.
you don't know. This
Listen,
one
the
might have had a bloody
pandemic-
nose. This one
The
might have been throwing
pandemic.
up. This
The pandemic. Yo, I'm sorry if I ever. I'm sorry, but my wife she's working in the medical field. She had to go to work every day. I was home with the kids every day, right? By the time she came home, and my kids is grown. It's not even like these babies. I'm giving. Your mother's home. I gotta go. I gotta go
going.
detox because sitting here with y'all all day, streaming and doing what y'all want to do, and
women do that day in, day out, day in, day out. And when you made the comment like, oh, if she's been sitting home all day, I wanted to circle back to that. You never know what she's enduring being home all day. Not to mention also trying to make sure that she's going to be able to take care of you as well when you get home. So when is somebody filling her cup and her energy? But the only thing you're seeing is that, you know what, I'm dead dog tired and these dishes is here. I done came in here, how many nights and them dishes is there? I done had it up to here, but you didn't take the time out the first night that it actually triggered you to say, you know what, baby, what you had going on today? You know, try to figure out how her day was. And then trying to incorporate a conversation and then lead up to like, yeah, I just noticed, you know, when I came home, the dishes was there. And I was just trying to figure out what happened with you. Maybe you had took on too much. Not just only with the kids, but just dealing with things mentally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As females, a woman, you got to show up. And you're expected to show up.
yes,
yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
for everybody.
I do think, you know, and because again we're raising girls, we try to stay away from, you know, the stereotypical gender
Right,
roles,
right.
right? It doesn't have to be like my girls can catch me doing anything in the house.
That's a good thing.
I wash the dishes, I cook the food, I go to the laundry, you know what I'm saying, I'm vacuuming, I'm sweeping, I'm doing all of the things. All of the things that they see their mother do, they can see me doing as well.
That's a blessing.
You know, and I hope that for when they grow up, they can, you know, end up with someone that does the same for them as well.
To be able to reciprocate that as well.
Yeah. You know, so it's not just, you know, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you. It's, you know, hey, listen, go sit down over there and you know what I'm saying, let me go over here and do this. You know, let me go and take care of this while you go over there and relax. You know, like I bought her a gift certificate for this massage place for Christmas. You know what I'm saying? She hadn't been able to use it just yet. And, you know, because I'm, you know, I'll be at the house, you know, doing work or whatever.
right,
and,
yeah.
You know, she's at home dealing with the kids.
She's putting the sacrifice she's making is the same sacrifice that you're making.
Yeah, well, I told her the other day, I was like, hey, you need to, you know, go ahead and use that gift certificate before the place closed down. You know, like, that ain't gonna be out of business before you know it. You know, I'm gonna spend all this money. You know. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to this next clip and talk some more.
How would you define love?
When you truly love somebody, truly, here's the thing about love. Love is unconditional. That's the first thing I want to say.
Is it really?
Love is unconditional. If it's conditions on it, it ain't love. It's a contract. And that's okay if both of you agree on those terms. She may agree. We have a pleasure contract. We got an economic contract where you're going to take care of me. And as long as you take care of me, I'm going to be your woman. The Puff Daddy arrangement. You feel me? That works for some people. No, you have women like that. You have men like that.
Right.
I'm going to floss you up. And as long as I floss you up, you can be loyal to me. But that's a contract. That's not love. Contracts are different from love. Why? Contracts are conditional. Right. Love is unconditional. If I love my queen, what if she comes home one day and say, hey, baby, I don't want to work this. I don't want to be a lawyer no more. But if I only married her because I like the way her law degree looks on Dr. Umar in public, you see how this goes? She's changing. But if I love her, okay, baby, that's what you don't want to do. You want to go into something else? Let's do it. Love is, when you love somebody, you are 100% unapologetically and unconditionally committed to that person's best interest, even if it is to your loss. Love is unconditional. And most of what we got in the Black community are contracts disguised as loving relationships.
That's another heavy one. I mean,
That is.
can you really love unconditionally?
Of course.
Yes.
So
See, he's saying there's a contract, right? I say it's miscommunication because you didn't have the conversation,
okay.
right? If you were, he brought up the weight gain. If you didn't have a conversation with your wife about weight or this, that, and the third, or you didn't look into her family existence, because you can see from grandma to mommy to aunties what this female is going to grow into as life goes on, then you wasn't doing your job, right? You didn't pay attention to what you got, right? So I don't really feel like it's love. Like, we are human, right? We don't have all the answers. We did not come here with a book, right? You're gonna learn. You're gonna hurt feelings. You're gonna get your feelings hurt, right? Because it's love, right? There's the opposite of love is hate, right? And right now, a lot of people love you through hate right now, right? LeBron, one of the most, we love LeBron as a ball player, but then we have so much to say about his game because of other players, right? It's not that we don't love LeBron or we don't respect LeBron's game, but, you know, we've seen other players do it with a fight, a fierce. They didn't have all the glitz and glamour and all the, you know, coming in the league with all the, this is the king. You know what I'm saying? He was named king from the time he came in the league. He didn't beat somebody down and become the king of the shit. He came in the league as the king. You know what I'm saying? But we've seen other people come in and fight their way through it. You know? Right. So I kind of feel like, you know, it's growth, it's communication. It's like we all make mistakes, we all say things we don't mean sometimes, and we all say things that we do mean, that get taken the wrong way.
In that aspect, do you think it's more beneficial to have a conditional relationship or unconditional? Because if you say it's conditional and you just lay it out from the beginning,
I say both.
Right?
I think that that's a relationship, period. It's called communication. I don't think anything comes with a contract. Like even your marriage.
But that would be it. It would be like if we get together and she weighed 100 pounds, right? And then he goes, hey, you know, if you end up being like 150 pounds, now I'm not gonna want to be here no more.
Then he's there for the wrong reason. That's
But
not
that's
love.
a conditional.
That's not
a
love.
conditional relationship.
But that ain't love.
Not love.
That ain't love.
Conditional love.
No.
No,
I love you as long as you stay skinny.
that's not love. No, that's not. That's
I
just.
mean, I don't even think.
Okay, let's look at
That's
it.
traumatizing to her. You traumatizing her.
You're looking at the shell of the
You
person.
can't get caught up in characterizing
That-
certain things. Like he said, contract. Contract might not be the right word to use, but at the end of the day, the thing, like he just said, if you love somebody unconditionally, you're gonna fight. That's what it's about.
Correct.
It's about a fight. So it's regardless if it's she gain weight, if it's she get on drugs, if it's she whatever it is. You know what I mean? If it's unconditional, I'm here for you and we gonna fight together.
All right, so
You know
your
what I
lady
mean?
wake up one day and she just decide, or your guy wakes up one day, I'm feeling like Dexter now. I'm gonna just go out here and start killing people.
That's different. Man.
That's conditional.
Nah, that ain't
That's
conditional.
conditional,
That's
brother.
common
Absolutely.
sense. That's common sense.
If you
That's
love her,
mental
you gotta
health.
love her all the way.
That's a
up to-
mental health
because
issue.
if he
That sounds like-
because if he become Dexter or whatever, then he can kill you. That's common sense,
Right.
bruh.
Is that?
That's
I mean,
common sense.
You could
bruh.
love him enough to call 911 so that he
Yeah.
don't hurt nobody else or himself to get hurt.
That's unconditional love. I'm gonna get you help.
Yeah.
You need help.
Yeah.
I'm gonna help you
I'm
get
gonna
help.
help you.
There you
Right.
go.
Correct.
All right.
We need
See,
a psychiatrist. We need to let me call
That's a
these
mental
people
health
because they
issue.
need to lock your ass up first of all
Right.
to get you
Get you
in
away
there,
from
get
everything.
you away from everybody, and get you help.
Facts.
And
Yeah.
unconditional means I'm not just going to leave you in there
Right.
to rot. I'm going to help you get help.
Exactly.
okay. Thank
exactly.
you for the perspective.
But I'm not gonna hurt myself at the same time.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not gonna
That's
leave
common
myself
sense.
out there to be to get hurt.
But like, you know what I'm saying? Just
I wanted
like,
to
yo,
say
baby,
something.
we gotta go. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
My apologies. You said something about love and hate, right? And I always had this in my head. Just my thought. You know, hate derives from love, right? Because when you love somebody enough, let's just say, you know, relationship, it's not working. Somebody's gonna get hurt, especially if it's unexpected. You don't see it coming, or sometimes you might see it coming and think that you're still gonna fight for it, right? But this person really, I'm over. That's it. I want to be with you. That person that's hurt, internalized, is that love now has nowhere to go because the love that they had, they were giving it to you. You understand? And you're taking that away from them. So some people, it's derived from hate because now, you know, I can't stand her. How she do me like that, or you know how he do me like that. So when you think about love and hate, it goes hand in hand. One is derived from the other.
Heavy stuff.
Opposite attract.
All right. We got one more clip to check out. Let's go ahead and do that before we get out of here.
Kitty, I want love. Here's my problem. How do you want love from a man, but you follow platforms that are structured on the demise of relationships and they push the ideal of misandry? How do you follow platforms of women who hate men? They hate the male sex, but you say you want love from a man and you say you want relationships. I know why many people are doing this. I understand you're trying to embrace the feminist ideals, and I'm not against that. But embracing feminist ideals does not equate to shunning love from men, and that's where the disconnect is. I want a man, but I'm going to surround myself and open up my spirit to women who hate men, to women who don't have the same desires as me. You want a man, but you're rejecting all forms of love and companionship from them? Make that make sense. Come on, stop following these misandrists. They're not gonna get you anywhere, especially if you are wanting companionship, you are wanting that community, you are wanting love. They're not getting you anywhere, honey. And please understand that not all men are toxic. They don't all follow this toxic masculinity, and not all of them follow these destructive patriarchal norms. Many of these pages, they're keeping you single because they're projecting their negative experiences on you. But I hope this gives you all something to work with. I wish you all the best, happy healing, and happy, healthy relationships. Bye, babies.
What's her name? I need to follow her. I need to follow her.
I forgot her name.
Yeah, please let me get that name, cuz.
Do you guys think you are suffering from relationship roadblocks?
I think we all have relationship roadblocks, but I think the key to that relationship roadblock, again, everything goes back to communication. You're gonna always hit a roadblock because you know what? You're not the same person the person you got with is not the same when you met them. We change all the time, and our preferences change too. Our likes and dislikes change as well. So you're gonna always have some roadblocks because you know what? The person that you married or that you was with is not the same person you got with. They've changed. So of course you're gonna meet them roadblocks, but how you handle it It's the outcome that's going to either be beneficial to both of y'all or it's going to leave y'all in turmoil.
Okay, yeah, I like that. You guys, Steve?
No, I agree.
No, I agree with her.
I agree. You know, I mean, that's being in a relationship. It's ups and downs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not just smooth sailing. You know what I mean? That's what makes the love and the unconditional love mean more. The things that we went through together, the fights that we fought together. You know what I mean? That's what makes you stronger and makes you tighter and gets that. I'll walk through for walls for you. I'll do anything for you unconditional because we done been in the trenches together.
Go to jail.
I'll go to jail too.
I mean,
Go to jail too.
That's what it called.
Let me tell you something. Somebody come to my crib
That's what it
and
called
they threaten
for.
mine. They ass is grass.
Yeah.
I'm going to jail.
I'm gonna tell you a funny story, right? Is me and my wife and we were driving, we were downtown by where they do the filming for damn, what's the Law and Order?
Yeah.
You know the building down there?
Yeah.
So we down there driving, you know they be on the bikes everywhere now in New York.
Yeah.
So the dude is on the bike and he's swerving. You know what I mean? So, you know, my wife from down south, so she ain't accustomed to everybody on the bikes all over the place.
All over the place, yeah.
So he swerved in front of me. Wham! He fly off the bike, everything. So I get out the truck to go check on him, know what I'm saying, and make sure he all right. So I'm checking on him. He, oh man, I'm all right. You know, in New York, you getting up, check the bike. I turn around, my wife in the driver's seat. I'm like, what you doing? Why are you in the driver's seat? She's like, I ain't want you to go to jail. I was gonna say I was driving. You know what I mean? That's so, and it was funny, but it's you ready to whatever it takes so that I don't, you know what I mean? And it's vice versa.
Yeah.
And that's what it's supposed to be when it's unconditional. Like you don't think about it. It's just I got you, you got me, and we gonna figure it out.
Yeah, we'll talk about the rest later.
Yeah. That's why I say a lot of people say
that's later.
we
Let's
figure
handle
it
the
out. A lot of
situation
people
now.
are saying they in relationships or saying they in something and it's love, but it ain't really, you know what I mean?
Facade.
It ain't, because as soon as the bad times come, you gone. You looking for the next person.
Can I ask a question though? Does a lot of this come from outside influences, like government, you know, with the whole welfare thing and making females feel like they don't need the man there because they can get it from there? You know, because people do have babies just to situational. They need a place to stay. You know, so do you think a lot of this stuff is brought onto us from other entities other than just us hating each other?
It could be. It could be. I don't think maybe not as intentional, right? It's just like kind of a byproduct.
It is intentional though. It's the system is set up a certain way.
Yeah. But you
How do
said,
you feel
but you said, is it? Do you feel the women or whoever
Women
do
and men, women and men,
because the system is set up that way anyway. The system is set up if we're going to give you this, then like with housing, sometimes they used to say with housing, if we give you this assistance, then you can't have a man in the house. You know what I mean? You got to live alone with the children. So the system is set up a certain way. You know what I mean? Because you got to realize, even with food stamps and all that wasn't created for us. It was created for those white women that the war and they needed help and they needed it. We just started getting it more, and then they look at those welfare people, look at those, you know what I'm saying, colored people on welfare. It wasn't
everybody come out the country, come in and get welfare.
Yeah, a lot of things that the government
a whole
had.
busload of people.
Yeah, a lot of things that the government had wasn't created per se to help us. You know what I mean? We were just the byproduct and went through
we just gained the rights along the way.
We gained through it, you know what I mean? And now a lot of things they're doing are just for us. You know what I mean? But the system, of course, you look at all the projects up. What is it?
That's why I'm asking that question, because I feel like a lot of the stuff that's happening to us was, you know, put upon us.
Yeah.
Created to break the black
and
family.
Now we're starting to hear about it more because we're talking to each other. We're having these sit downs. We like, you know, I tell people like, nah, I can't be mad at my parents because of what the world was at that time in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Drugs was, and then they put one of the worst things ever out there, crack. And that just took everybody.
Yeah.
I've seen pilots and doctors and nurses
go down.
You know, all go down. So it wasn't because they said, you know what, I'm gonna destroy my life.
No.
You know, it was partying. Same thing's happening now. You know, kids is partying. They doing drinking Serve and all this craziness, getting sick, pills. You know. So that's why I asked that question. Like, so is some of this given to us, or is it just us hating each other?
No, I don't think it's us hating each other. I think that some of us use it as a way out. Some of us become complacent in certain situations, as you were saying, like he said, the projects. How many people you know just become complacent? It's supposed to be a stepping stone. It's not supposed to be your forever, you know? And a lot of people do become complacent staying in the projects. Like, you know what, the rent is low. I ain't got to pay for water. I ain't got to pay for light, gas. Man, what I'm leaving for? You understand? And you become complacent with that mindset. So yes, it is put in place for us, but I think that as we start to love each other more, I think as we start to listen to each other, you know, how did you get that house? You know, what did you do? You become inquisitive. You start to want more for yourself. Now it's like, you know what, I don't have to stay in these projects. So what, I got to pay a little. You know how many people is doing it? You start to change your mindset. Once you change your mindset on how you start moving, then you start to elevate yourself because you start to surround yourself with the people that is going where you want to go. So I think that, yeah, it was given to us, but some of us just sit in it.
Yeah, like you said, become complacent and just, you know a lot of people, you probably go to the projects, the lady been there since the 60s. You know what I mean? Now the daughter got the same apartment. And,
passing down the apartment, that ain't this.
It wasn't meant for that, you know? It was meant to, like you said, a stepping stone, get in and get out.
But part of that stuff is too the system, you know what I'm saying? Because the kids in the house get locked up. Now you can't get a job. You can't get this. You can't do that. You can't. It's so many. If you watch the system, it breaks all the love down in your household.
But I mean, we at a point now where we can't keep blaming the system.
No. That's why we're sitting here talking now.
Yeah, we can't.
I feel like I said, I feel like I can understand what both of y'all are saying. I do feel like it was the start of it. Yes, in the beginning, it was the start of the system, like, because that's all we had to lean on, right? And we was always taught to hate each other, right? Because we always against our own selves, right? You'll see a bunch of black people arguing with each other before you see a black or white person arguing, you know? But moving past that, I think that, you know, because that's a whole story in itself. But I think that in the beginning, yeah, it was set for us to fail. You know what I'm saying? Stay here, stay complacent, don't learn, you know, just accept what we're giving you. But as we started to evolve, we started to realize, nah, there's more out there. And I think that's where I can say, you know, I agree with the both of you. Like, yeah, it was set for failure, but those who didn't want to be complacent thought outside that box and elevated.
Yeah.
A very wise man once said, "We shall overcome." Yes, we will. On that note, we're going to get up out of here. I want to thank Marty for coming down and
thank you for having
sharing some words with us. Thank you. My brother Skeet and Jay. I'm your guy, Danny. We'll see you on the next one.